Welcome everyone to the Crypto Magnet Show. Today we have a very special guest. And before we get into it, guys, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and join us on a journey to 10,000 subscribers. We are also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and many more. So before we get into it, guys, I'm just going to do an audio check and we're just going to get the ball rolling. And many more. So, can you hear me, Hamed?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. Can you introduce yourself?
Can you hear me? Well, my name is Hamed. I am a motion graphics artist.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, legit. Perfect. So my name is Hamed. I'm a motion graphics artist and a creative director. 29, born and raised in Minnesota. Kind of a technology nerd. I love emerging technology. And I just found that any way that I can use my own creative skills and inject that into the new technology in a way where it's mutually beneficial for me and my consumers is awesome. So I learned about NFTs because one of my friends commented on one of my Instagram posts and he said, yo, put this on OpenSea and sell it as an NFT. I know you're smart. You'll figure it out. And I'm like, okay, breadcrumbs, run that. And, the rest is history. I'll tell you more about the overall story. But I'm pleased to be on this show. Pleased to be working with Daenerys once again. We have history. And, I actually was one of the ones who assisted him in one of his first podcast interviews with one of my friends, Zach Abukar. So looking forward to a great show, talk about some interesting topics that have a little bit of mystery behind them and a little bit of skepticism. And hopefully I can definitely shine a light to that. Round of applause, yay. All right. Looks like Daenerys, you are muted. So if you want, you can unmute yourself. I can't hear you. There it is. Now again. Oh, mic's on. Now it's back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. We're good.
All right, you guys can hear me now, right?
Oh, the intro is done, so keep rolling.
I have a lag on my end, so my apologies. But welcome to the show. Again, this is the Crypto Magnet Show. We're going to talk about some NFTs. I know. Yeah. We're going to talk about some intros, some NFTs. But you can take it away, Hamed.
Okay, cool. So there was probably, maybe you guys know about him. There's a gentleman by the name of D'Angelo Lewis. And he's kind of a popular YouTuber, social media influencer. And he was basically saying that NFTs are simply receipts and that they are, in essence, not real, because there's a lot of information behind NFTs that don't allow people to know how they even came into our reality, how they're valuable, and how people are spending millions of dollars on it. What does that have to do with the everyday man in the real world? Is this just another scheme? Is this just another scam that so many people have fallen for before? So I wanted to just clarify that NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. The jargon behind it is pretty interesting, but all you need to know is that with NFTs, the reason why there's so much money behind NFTs is that they are purchased using Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. So then there's two layers to this conversation, possibly even three, maybe even a little bit of condiments and extra mayo. But the base layer behind an NFT is understanding what cryptocurrencies are. So if you're asking yourself, Um, Cryptocurrencies, what the hell are those? And you're already skeptic behind what NFTs are, then you're kind of in the dark and you don't really know what to say. So it's best to take everything with a grain of salt and then do your own personal research. But to start, Ethereum is a digital currency from the blockchain. What is blockchain? Blockchain is a chain of codes that allow one to verify something from point A to point B without being interrupted and without being duplicated or deleted. The easiest way to see this is with blockchain is imagine a group of four people, A, B, C, and D. Person A understands that the message is yes, 100 US dollars. And because person B is linking arms with person A, they know through this chain link that you heard 100, I also heard 100. And so forward all the way down to person D, who's currently linking arms with person C, and like, yep, the message is 100. We know this. We are a chain of code that can verify that it's $100. There are a lot of really, really smart people in this world, a lot of tech geniuses that will always try to scam the system and say, I'm sending you $100, but in reality, I'm going to add a zero to it using my amazing coding skills. I'm going to put this into the system and it's going to change my $100 to $1,000. That can't happen simply because of that chain of code. This is extremely valuable. This is one of the most valuable things in the world, to be able to verify currency, because you've seen in those movies when, a bunch of Russian terrorists will kidnap some random dudes from Switzerland and be like, we need you to transfer 300 million to this account. And then they look in their phone, and then the guy is being held on gunpoint and he types on his computer and he goes into a system and he sends that money to an account, and they can verify that indeed these funds have gone from location A to location B. That system is called SWIFT. There's no point in going into any deeper. Just understand that that's how the real world financial system works. SWIFT, SWIFT. It allows banks to send money from point A to point B without there being any interruption in that data, and so that the data is 100% correct. The concept of blockchain has actually been around for a long, long time. It's just that once we made it into something that people can purchase publicly through Bitcoin, that's when things started going crazy. So with cryptocurrency, as a cryptocurrency, as a digital currency, we know in the real world that we're able to put value into a certain crypto coin and watch the value accrue and grow and grow and grow and dive and grow again. And we know for a fact that these are real dollars because you can go to a Bitcoin ATM and withdraw real money. You can use these Bitcoin apps and send real money into your bank account. If you were investing last year in 2020 and you come up big time in 2021 and you turned your $1,000 to $1 million, you can literally transfer that into your account. Of course, Uncle Sam is going to be like, hey, I'm going to need that. Run that. So digital currencies are 100% real. And because of the validity of a digital currency, that is what makes NFTs 100% real too. You have faith that you go into your Wells Fargo app, put money in, send it to someone through Zelle, that person receives that money. So you know that your real money is going somewhere. That's no different than on cryptocurrencies. So that right there was the first piece of what it takes to understand what an NFT is. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to that, Denarius?
Yeah, so you can hear me.
Yes.
For me, a crypto for NFTs, just to stay on that topic, I like the purpose of an NFT that it's a digital asset. So just to wrap around, like we see so much art online. We see memes online. We see all these things that we share, but we never know the value of it. Now this is a time where we're able to set a value behind it, but also be the person who owns ownership of it. So when I see something that I like on Instagram of a photo or a cartoon, now that I'm understanding what an NFT is and being able to now invest into what that community and what the benefits of an NFT is, I like to invest into a NFT when it has a real life utility token where I can see the value of it of a potential investment rise and gain in interest over time.
Yeah.
So art, for instance, I never understood art, and until this day, I don't understand art. But I've been able to understand art through digital art, of me understanding an NFT, which is setting the value of a painting. And since it's a scarcity, since there's only one of a kind, one of one, you're able to then uh, purchase that and be able to be the person to set the value to that. Now, when you invest into an NFT, you want to invest into an NFT or a project that has a thriving community, that has a longevity, that has a roadmap, that has a purpose. Where you didn't understand that it is an investment, and as an investment, it has potential to grow and also not. But really doing all the research that I've done for me to understand what an NFT is, and then understanding the value proposition, because it's not just a picture. It's not just it's really a certificate of a scarce asset that is driven behind the community and the value that's set behind
Yeah.
many of these different projects. So a lot of the many projects are connected to different aspects. Metaverses, cryptocurrencies. There's an ecosystem behind just that entity. So when I see an NFT or a project, I love to invest into something that has a community, that has a potential for it to really grow in value. For me to actually understand that I'm not just putting all my money into a what if. It's a calculated decision. Morally, to go back to the history of understanding, assets and
Yeah.
understanding a lot of things you were saying as well.
Okay. Cool. So now this is where an artist like myself comes into play, and how NFTs has created a whole new, unimaginable opportunity. With NFT, there are pieces of digital art. It doesn't have to be complex, but it's art nonetheless. There are a couple things that determine the value of the digital art. First, as an artist myself, how is an NFT created? That's a real question. Someone like myself would make something, and I am an NFT artist, and I can actually share a couple on here. Shameless plug eventually. But when I put it on these NFT marketplaces, such as Rarible or OpenSea, I have to put real life money into that NFT that I'm trying to upload into the market. And the prices of gas is going up. It might cost me like $112 to put a piece on the NFT market. So that's 112 US dollars that has been converted to Ethereum. So that at that point, it's a value. It has its own value. But what's interesting about it is that even though I am attaching it to a visible object, what I'm putting in the digital market space, which is zeros and ones, is a specific code. It's a chain of code because it's Ethereum. So that picture that I'm uploading, even though somebody can copy and paste it and say, see, I own this NFT now, they don't own the code that's associated with that NFT. Um, so now that I've put something on the Ethereum market that's worth about 112 US dollars, I can decide how much do I want to sell it for. Okay. Daenerys can see, hey, Ahmed's an upcoming artist. He may not be, super popular now, but who knows, man, in a year or two from now, they'll be like, oh my God, you have something from Ahmed. I want to buy that from you from like point 0.2 ETH, which is like nearly $4,000. Okay. You can bid. That is where it's beautiful. I can put my art online and people can bid for it. Sure, they may not buy it, but what if they do? What if they do? They will buy my art and bid and bid and bid and bid. So this isn't something that's imaginary. I took actual value, put it on a marketplace, and now people are bidding for it. So that value is based on one, how much it's worth in Ethereum. Number two, the fame of the artist itself. Beeple, who has sold is close to $1 billion worth of NFTs, if not more at this point. Beeple is a popular artist, and because he's a real life artist, so his NFTs go for millions of dollars. So there's the fame of the artist. And the third one is something called prominence. That means who has owned it in the past, who is currently the owner. When you go to these markets, when you're bidding for something, you're able to see the history of the bid on that NFT. And you're able to see if someone like Gary Vee used to own this. Gary Vee could buy my piece just because it looks pretty for like, I don't know, the equivalent of 400 US dollars. But simply because he bought it and he owns it, he can make it bid for the equivalent of $1 million US dollars. And people will buy it. There is a marketplace of people who know that I'm not just buying this piece of art. As volatile as the Ethereum market is, instead of just hanging it on my wall, I'm buying this art, and as the Ethereum market goes up, the value of my art goes up. And that is where the outrage, not even outrage, I guess the ridiculousness of the NFTs is coming from, because people are like, what? Somebody bought a virtual painting for $900? I mean, $900 million? That's crazy. This is a scam. This is unbelievable. Well, is it? If you had $900 million in your bank account, right? Conceptualize this. Can you see it? Or you have faith that the zeros and ones in US Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America's system are accurate and they're not duplicated or deleted, that they're secured, just like the SWIFT system we were talking about. That's how you can buy an NFT for $900 million, but because of blockchain, you can know that indeed that is 900 million real dollars, unless that chain of code disappears, but that's what it means to be a blockchain. It can't be deleted. Okay, it can only be duplicated. It cannot be deleted or repeated or changed. You can only continue to change, and that is what NFTs are in a nutshell. And tag.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. How does one own one and get a stake of proof of ownership?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yep. The question was, how does one own one, and how do they prove of ownership? So how does a person even go about buying an NFT?
Okay, cool. So when this unique token is purchased, that's what we want to use, the right vernacular. When your token is purchased, you can store it in your digital wallet. So the digital wallet is basically, imagine how Zelle holds your money for your bank account. When you purchase something, you get a proof of ownership. I'm forgetting the exact vernacular of it. I know that um, there is like an NFT URL where you're able to actually view the NFT, and then the token address, that the token address is transferred to your digital wallet. So with your digital wallet, you're able to see that you do own it, and you have a private key. I think you might be able to elaborate a little bit more on that too. Mike, your mic, your mic, you're still muted.
The biggest one out there. Sorry, guys. Again, I'm trying to be professional and forgetting the mic. So the biggest marketplace out there is called OpenSea. Oh, and I'll actually give a screen share and walk people through this process. So with OpenSea, I like OpenSea because it has it's basically the marketplace for everything. And I enjoy it. Bear with me, guys. Oh, I can't do that later. You guys can see my screen? Okay. You can't see my screen, can you? There is a line. Let's do that one. Boom. Promise lost permission to capture your screen. I'm having technical difficulties. Well, OpenSea, you will go to OpenSea.io, and that's where you would find an NFT or an NFT marketplace. When you go to OpenSea, you'll have a drop down of some of the top NFTs that are dropped that are launched right now. So if we were to go to OpenSea.com, you would see the top 5 ones that are ranked. Number 1 is right now is Sandbox. Sandbox is a it's a VR land ecosystem that is powered on the Ethereum network. Their current volume trade that's been traded. So you're talking about value, and let's talk about the Sandbox for just give an example. It is virtual land. You know, like you would say, how would someone and why would someone ever spend this type of money on a virtual art? It just doesn't make sense. Well, if we look at the researchers, this is a $1 trillion industry, and so there's so much money that out there that you have to understand. We're talking about a dollar sign. It's really digital numbers. So you make that analogy with $900 million in your bank account to a person who's seen $900 million. It's just a bunch of numbers in their bank account. It's not that they physically have seen that, $900 million, and that is kudos to them. But in a real sense, it's a value that is set. So when we go to Sandbox, the value traded is 106.9K of Ethereum. That's a lot of Ethereum. That's a lot of value of money because there's a real set value behind Ethereum. Right now, the 1 Ethereum is sitting there is consolidated between $4,400 to $4,700 per Ethereum. So if we were to say if just one is that, what is the value of 106? Well, it's 4,700 times 106, which is a lot of value and a lot of money just in one project. Well, that's just one project. We go down the list on OpenSea. This is just one. This is just an example. Each one has a lot of value that's put into it. So we're going to talk about digital art. The Bored Yacht Club. That's another one. Their trading value right now is 247.6, and these are digital monkeys that are just smiling or have glasses on or maybe melting or whatever the case may be. But the value is set behind that is again, they're one of a kind. There's a community behind it. And when we talk about community, we're talking about who is a part of this community. Well, it really started to get popular when the artist Future purchased a Bored Ape. And if you go to Twitter right now, you would see his his photo of that Bored Ape that he dropped around $386,000 for this one NFT. So when you're talking about value set in a part of a digital art, who's a part of the community, and what is the longevity in the project of that community? Bored Ape. I had to do my research. Who else just bought a Bored Ape? DJ Khaled. And who else just bought another one? Post Malone just purchased 2 NFTs of the Bored Ape for $736,000. So, well, the value behind that, who's a part of that community that you're known that I see NFTs giving the everyday average person an opportunity to be at the table with these individuals who are a part of this community, because there's a real life value set behind it where you can get an invite in the metaverse. Because a lot of these NFTs are giving you access to a metaverse that's going to be built whether you believe or agree to or even understand it. And so, just as an example, as the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it's a bunch of people who are buying NFTs that will be their avatar, but also their access to this community in the metaverse, but also the real world as well. Because when they're dropping and when they're having events, cryptocons, conferences, you're going to network and meet other people who are holding these type of NFTs, and it's going to give you access into a different type of conversation and also access to this community that you have purchased the proposition that they are offering back in return. Because with a lot of different NFTs, just as some NFTs you can actually earn passive income by holding an NFT once you mint it. There's going to be people. There's a transaction where you can just buy it. Someone can just go there and buy it and bid on it, and it can rise the value in that way as well. But some NFTs people purchase and hold, and they're actually minting and getting passive income of it. And when you become some projects have benefits where they reward their holders, or the first people who are jumped in on the pre-sales, an extra NFT. So now if the NFT rose into a value of a Bored Ape, that's a value of $300,000. That you have of an extra that was rewarded to you because you had invested in this project and it rose over time. I've seen this countless and in the Discord. I see it countless with different where the value is set behind the community. So when people are searching for NFTs or wants to wrap their head around it, you want to go to an OpenSea.io. But you also want to see which project has a community that is worth investing and what that community actually has to offer in it. It's not just buying the NFT, is buying the project, what the NFT may have to offer. I had someone comment on my Facebook today. Did I purchase the Wizard and Dragons NFT that just dropped? And I didn't really understand that until I literally, as I'm scrolling on my computer right now in this show, I wish you guys could see my screen. It's the Wizard and Dragon NFTs. And if we were going to OpenSea, it's at 6. The trading value right now is at 6.4 of an Ethereum. Right now, the average of these NFTs around 1,500, and they're pixelated. And so, if people were to understand the value that sets behind these different projects, you want to see what these things are, what the benefits are. But there's a real life value in it as well, because it's trading value. It's no different in the U.S. when we're day trading. When the day traders in the stocks markets, they're trading this currency versus this currency. Now you're trading the value of this NFT versus the value that this NFT has to offer in the community that is offering it to, versus the other communities that are out there as well in the world of NFTs. So my question to you, Hamed, you're an NFT, you're an artist. What are some of the things you're looking to launch or do with your project so we can support other upcoming people in this NFT ecosystem?
Wow, thanks for asking. So yeah, I have a line of digital art that didn't start off intentionally as an NFT, funny enough, but they're a specific aesthetic. They're called the Sublime Creation. They're a set of digital art that I've created, and they're actually 3D, so they move. It's one of those NFT that moves. There are different kinds of NFTs. Some NFTs are audio files. So an NFT does not have to be an image per se. In fact, was it Tory Lanez sold 1 million copies of his album as NFTs. So your NFT does not have to be an image, but mine are like videos. So they're videos that move
In 1 minute.
in 1 minute. So he literally made history, fastest to sell 1 million copies of his album in 1 minute. So that's part of the beauty. In fact, let me see if I can put a link in the comments for people to view my NFT. Yeah. Profile. Yes. Copy link. Paste. And Daenerys will paste for me across. So this is an example of a digital art that is video and audio, and that's how I want all of my creations to be. They're all going to be branded. It's going to say Sublime 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Only 6 copies, but that's what makes it rare. And the rarity is something that adds value to it. Yeah. Cool. So let me see what else we had on the agenda. My camera is funny. Let's go back.
And guys, the if you guys can see this link, I'll post it in the comments. As you guys can see it come across your screen, it'll also be on Facebook as well.
Hold on a second. Oops. My camera decided to fail on me at the exact wrong time.
And this is for those out there on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and join us on a journey to 1,000 subscribers. Today we're speaking with Hamed, an NFT artist. We have also commented and posted in the links the link to his NFT drop that he will be launching.
All right, let's fix this. I'm back. All right then. So these are just previews of the entire project that's going to drop on the 25th of December. Everything will drop at once. Or in fact, maybe this is an opportunity to ask your advice from what you've seen on the NFT market. Do certain things have certain times when they drop, or do they typically all drop as a collection?
Good question. Yeah, so the scheduling for NFTs is so spontaneous, and you want to find out how do they drop and when do they drop, and how do they even get the traction to the point to become a successful NFT? Because the market now is becoming so saturated, and you want to find ways to. Like prime example, the ones that we compare to be the next Shittu and Ibu in this NFT world.
Yeah.
You want to study what is the next CryptoPunks, What is the next Sandbox? What is the next Board Ape Yacht Club? And what made them go viral? What was that type of, and what was that? What how did that, and not only how did that NFT make you feel? How did it look? And what was the community? What was it offering to the community? And
Okay.
so when you want to drop an NFT, you want to if it's just a line of you want to probably add the value proposition behind it. So if you're dropping your NFT, you can say this is just hypothetical. You can say the first so and so people who have this or get added into a private group where once a year we meet and we or blah 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 insert, because when you add certain incentives to your community, people want to be a part of your community and people want to know the type of people that would be attracted to those type of opportunities. So if I were to drop an NFT, I would say we would meet, we would have a conference once a year. All those who have this type of NFT holders would be put into a raffle, and with those in a raffle
Okay.
have a chance to win a PS5 or something, something that's beneficial to that community. And you can offer those type of incentives as, again, your people are invested into your project, because a lot of the income is going to come from you're getting paid in Ethereum. And as we all know, Ethereum, the value rises and falls, but historically, Ethereum it has been on a track record, and it's the second ranked highest cryptocurrency with volume out there. And in a lot of the different NFTs that are being created and launched are all being launched on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's kind of a double whammy. You drop an NFT project, and you ask people to pay you on Ethereum, and you study other successful NFTs that are on the Ethereum blockchain. But there's other blockchains that are out there as well, such as a Polygon, Matic. There's a bunch of other ways where for you can be the star if on that blockchains, because these blockchains are becoming they're becoming new. People are now being aware of an NFT. So
Yeah.
NFTs aren't just on Ethereum. Prime example, I purchased an NFT yesterday, and it was on the Polygon network. Now I had to buy Ethereum and then swap it into Polygon. But once I got to Polygon's network, they don't have any gas fees, because you have to you pay the gas fees when you do that, when you switch it over via Ethereum. And so gas
Mhm.
fees in this world of NFTs are very, very high as well, because
Yeah.
this is such a new industry. I
Right.
like NFTs to be hopefully on the Binance Smart Chain, because it's a lot more feasible, because the fees are a lot less. But
Finance.
I also have learned that majority of these projects that are out here that are successful, that are such as a Board Ape, and a lot of the projects are all dropped on the Ethereum blockchain through OpenSea. And so I had to learn my lesson last night by purchasing an NFT and paying those fees. And the fees were well over $100-$200 just to buy something that has a value of XYZ, so you can resell that value for XYZ.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Cool. Wow, this is an excellent conversation. Now, for those in the chat who are interested in becoming an NFT artist or are already a graphic designer and have maybe like 20, 30 files just sitting in your computer, man, that was the best part about it. That's honestly where the best value came of it to me. You have to first invest in your own artwork, and then even if nobody buys it, look, you now have a cachet of your own art that has been immortalized on the digital network. And as the blockchain market rises, the value of your artwork will rise. And then at that point, you can have family and friends buy your artwork to support you, but they won't be as skeptical as buying a piece of paper. If you made a design and you told you to your aunt, hey, buy this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just buying your art. That's cool. But when they know that they're buying Ethereum and blockchain or cryptocurrency, you're going to feel much better when you see that people are buying your art. Like, it's such a gratifying feeling. So to get started, what you need to do is create a digital wallet. I use MetaMask. Um, there's also one called Formatic, Formatic requires a little bit of coding prowess, but the advantage is that you can turn it into your own app if you want to. And once you have a digital wallet, you can join these NFT markets, such as crypto.com, Rarible, like I mentioned, and OpenSea. Those are the ones that I am most aware of, the ones that are most popular that I know of. And once you join, you upload your image or video or music or combination of all of them into the NFT marketplace, and then you pay gas fees, basically. I don't know why they call it gas, but hey, Ethereum, that's probably what they were going after. You pay your gas fees. Sure, it might be like $80, $120. Hey, just do it, because if you're trying to have money like to have 6 zeros at the end, you can't be afraid to throw 2 zeros behind your own artwork. You know what I'm saying? So once it's uploaded on there, you have a token ID or token URL or even a specific token number that people can use to look up your art itself. I think through more experience, I can actually come back here on this show again and then talk about effective marketing strategies to actually sell your NFT, because that in itself becomes a whole new game. When you're able to actually promote your own artwork as an NFT or promote yourself as an NFT artist, then you'll see that investing a few bucks into your own art on a Ethereum marketplace is not a big deal.
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you, Hamed, for joining us. I see we have some questions for the guests. Let's see. I've got any questions in the comments. So one guest asks, as a up and coming artist, how does one transfer their stuff, their digital art to? How do they upload it to an OpenSea?
Good question. So once again, you literally have to create a digital wallet. This digital wallet will work not only as a place for you to get your money from your artwork, but also for other sort of cryptocurrencies, regardless of NFTs. So to get a digital wallet, you can literally Google digital wallet. But for an NFT artist, I strongly just recommend using MetaMask. METAMASK. It's basically a fox head. That's how you know you're on the website. And then sign up through MetaMask. They'll have you create a security phrase. That's usually like anywhere from 9 to 16 words. And then you use that to sign in to these NFT marketplaces. So if you want to put some links or some recommendations to good NFT marketplaces, again, it's OpenSea, OPENSEA.io. When you go there and you click the top right corner, it's going to say sign in or sign up. It's going to just show you that fox face for your MetaMask or Formatic or Taurus or whatever else exists that you've chosen. And that's it. Sign in. Now you have the ability to upload your own artwork into that cryptocurrency. Because when you create a digital wallet, of course, you probably want to attach your wallet to your real life source of money. But at the same time, once you go to OpenSea, they're going to have you put in your bank information so that when you pay the gas fees for your specific piece of art, then it's on the market, and then at that point you decide how much you want to sell it for. So you pay maybe $200, $120 for your artwork to get uploaded, and then at that point you can choose to sell it for how many ETH you want. Mike's muted.
A little bit about the gas fees. Can you talk a little bit about the gas fees? Why do we have to pay so much in fees and these gas fees? Like, where does that money even go to?
Yes. Personally, I'll be honest. I don't know why I'm paying for the gas. I don't know why, but to me, it simply makes sense because how do you create value out of nothing? You know what I mean? Maybe it is nothing, but by putting in these gas fees and putting it onto the marketplace, that piece of artwork that you have now has a tangible, real world value. If you get what I'm saying. Again, anyone can copy and paste any piece of artwork online. Anyone can literally find a Van Gogh painting, copy and paste it, and try to upload it onto crypto or an NFT thing. And that actually brings up a whole nother topic that I want to talk about. So, but like I was saying, you pay the gas fees to give real world value to your art. Otherwise, it has no value other than what you feel it's worth. But value intrinsically is usually like something that everyone values. Because if it's not valuable to anybody, then there is no value. You know what I mean? I think you might be able to elaborate a bit more on that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so for the gas fees, I am a person who's learning that the gas fees are a part of is a part of the ecosystem of what blockchain that you have that you're being a part of. I like to specifically pay no fees, which is I like to stay around the low fee blockchain such as Binance. I typically do a lot of my crypto investments on the Binance Smart Chain. As I've learned to jump into the NFT world, as we have done, I currently have the business. Our business owns an NFT, and I personally own a NFT under my personal wallet. And the first one is held on the Ethereum network. So I'm sure the gas fees was a lot. The NFT that we purchased, it was one Ethereum at that time, and but I purchased mine last night, and just to buy just to spend I think the fees were $80 to $120 in fees, which I didn't. I'm trying to I'm trying to put Ethereum into my wallet, and so I had to wait until the next day because on they only give you a certain a minimum or maximum because of the gas fees that you typically there's a gas fee meter on this trust wallet on a MetaMask when you invest a certain amount. So I had to wait until midnight the next day, last night, to then put the remaining amount of Ethereum into the account to potentially purchase an NFT that I hope that no one would purchase, and then actually make the value rise more than it was. I purchased an NFT that had already been traded 5 times in 7 days, and so. If it had just launched in 7 days and it's already been bought and sold, bought and sold, bought and sold, it's as if you were to go buy a book or buy a car and sold it the next day, and someone bought another one and sold it the next day. It's the same car. It's in the value of that car. The difference is that the cars depreciate. The difference is the purchase when this car came out 7 days ago, it was a lot lower, and last 7 days has only gained value because the people have been trading and buying as if this NFT was a car in this scenario. So I had to then repurchase and put more money into the MetaMask and then pay more fees because but what I've learned in the world of paying fees, the cheapest time to pay fees on the Ethereum network is between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Those are the cheapest times you'll find, and that's Central Standard Time. That's the time you'll find that you'll actually pay the cheapest on fees, where you typically would pay 2.9% of whatever you're taking that you're purchasing plus the fee of wherever that's coming out of, whether that's a Moon Pay or a Simplex. These are different vendors that are in the world of in the purchase that actually help these things complete, because they add a tax to it too as well. If you're paying the gas fee for the blockchain, but you're also paying another fee when you swipe your card as if it was a Visa. MoonPay is the Visa of the crypto world, and so they have a fee on top of that as well when you're swiping or purchasing directly from your card as well. So there's fees on fees on fees. But I always tell people, what is the outcome? What are you investing in? Because when we purchase, when we get taxed in the real world, we live in Minnesota, we don't get taxed on our clothes, but there's tax in other places where the things that you wouldn't necessarily feel that should have a tax is a tax. And so in the Ethereum and blockchain world, it's crazy with fees. But I've learned is when you can learn which hours are the best peak hours for the cheapest to actually invest in, it's the best time to actually get your ROI. Because let's say you actually one of your when artist NFT drops and it skyrockets. Now they have 100 Ethereums because their collection sold out. Well, imagine trying to cash out or transfer that Ethereum into another Ethereum wallet and paying the gas fees on something that it's $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, because those type of fees would be then $15,000, $20,000 for you to transfer this type of funds. I released on if you guys on YouTube, my YouTubers know, I released a video when I have $107 on USDT. And I want to transfer it out into another wallet because it's in a DeFi wallet. I was staking my USDT, and for me to transfer just $107, I would have to pay $1,148 in gas fees on the Ethereum blockchain just to take out my $107. I will never take that money out. That 107 will be there for the lifetime of the lifetime, because until Ethereum 2.0 actually, the new blockchain of Ethereum is improved, because then we all know that, and the developers of the blockchain of Ethereum know that the gas fees are too high, and they're working on Ethereum 2.0. And when that does happen,
the gas prices are too high.
It's the moon. And yeah, literally anything and more. When Ethereum 2.0 comes out and their fees are like $5, and that's you think a fee of $5 is much? No, imagine trying to transfer $100 and you're paying $120. You're getting charged $120, but by the time you transfer, there's also a difference of the gas fees by the time it's confirmed. So you may be, I see this so much. I may be trying to transfer $300 of Ethereum, but I'm paying $30 in gas fees. So I'm really only going to get $270 back. And by the time it's such a crazy world with it. But
those gas prices on Joe Biden.
Blockchain was released. Everything on the Ethereum blockchain is going to go to the moon. The value of it's going to go to the moon, because now the Ethereum is another blockchain that it has a lot of projects that are being built off of it. And as you guys see, all the NFTs are being built off the Ethereum blockchain, and a lot of the metaverse is literally being built off the blockchain of Ethereum on top of some other Polygon and different networks as well. But literally, the Ethereum 2.0 is going to be released in the next 6 months, I would assume, with a lot of the projects that are being launched right now. So we're really in the ground floor of having a conversation around NFTs, having a conversation around blockchain. And I say this because 10 years ago, they were having this conversation. And 10 years later, now we're having this conversation. So it's not that things have changed. I think technology has grown to a point where these different technologies are here to improve human interactivity, transaction, decentralizing currency. So the value actually rises rather than fall. We're inflation. We're at the highest percentage of inflation of all time right now.
I wanted to touch base on that too.
The reason why there's so many deflationary tokens that are coming out here. That's why there's so many altcoins and projects and stable coins and XRP, and really wrapping my head around what these different things that are happening around, but not understanding what was actually happening around until I started to dive in and started to understand what a rug pull is and understand how to purchase an NFT, to then see what this community was really about, because the conversation around financial literacy and generational wealth and how
Hmm.
all these people are
Yeah,
becoming Dogecoin rich and crypto rich and all that other stuff. I
it's
just didn't
real.
understand it until I wanted to understand it, and it just all made sense once it did.
Yeah, yeah, very good, very very good, Daenerys. Yeah, one really vital thing that I've researched about the cryptocurrency in general, because I was talking to one of my uncles who does cybersecurity for Citibank, and he was the assistant vice um, president of Citigroup. He was telling me that blockchain isn't new, and the only difference between a blockchain are cryptocurrency, right? The only difference between cryptocurrencies and the United States dollar, the ones that you guys physically hold in your hand, is that while cryptocurrency is decentralized, there's no government that holds any monopoly over it. There's no certain country or state that holds a monopoly over it. The United States dollar is based on the debt system. Our government takes um, a security bond from the Federal Reserve Bank, and that basically stands as a debt that our country owes to the Federal Reserve Bank. So as we hold these dollar bills that say Federal Reserve Bank notes, it's because that stands as debt that every single bank agrees to pay back to another bigger bank, which pays back to the government with interest, which pays back to the Federal Reserve, versus a cryptocurrency, which isn't a debt, a country's debt. So the countries all around the world, within their own central banks, India, Russia, Brazil, Japan, those countries' reserves, in their reserves, they have United States dollars. So the United States dollar is that debt that circulates around the world. And if the Federal Reserve Bank just decides to raise the interest or the value of the United States dollar, the whole world is going to be affected. But with cryptocurrency, it's decentralized. So that is all the benefits that I can think of. Cryptocurrency personally helped my own life grow as an artist and allow people from other countries to actually have a chance to grow their own wealth. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Daenerys. We're on Crypto Magnet. This is a show that will carry on in perpetuity. Amen. Let's keep it real, bro. I appreciate you for having me on the show.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, thank you, Hamed. Well, everyone, thank you guys for joining in today. You guys can hit that like and subscribe button and join us on a journey to 10,000 subscribers. Again, this is your boy Crypto Magnet. See you guys on the moon.